Okay.
So, Madam Speaker.
Okay, great. So you are somewhat tech savvy. Then that has been confirmed. I also want to just confirm the process through which you transact on M-Pesa, and maybe you'll agree or disagree at the end. Number one, Speaker, I'm aware that when you use the M-Pesa app, you have to choose the person that you're sending money to, the recipient. And the next stage is to put in the amount that you want to send. And the next stage is to put in your PIN. And then there is a pop-up that comes which asks you to confirm that those details that you have input are correct before you either cancel or accept that transaction, whereby you would have seen the recipient's name pop up on that, inaitwa hakikisho in Swahili. And then once you have, if you said accept, if you confirm that those are the right details, Speaker, you press accept, and then, as another senator has said, you'll receive a transaction confirmation with the exact same details so that you can confirm that you have sent the correct amount to the correct person at said time. Now, with all of those different confirmation opportunities, I wanted to really clarify, because he uses the M-Pesa app and you have to be tech savvy to use it. How did you not see those confirmation pop-ups that came through the M-Pesa app for you to confirm whether you're sending the money to the right person? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I've already heard that, I'm sorry, that I missed those pop-ups and sent money knowing that I've sent the money to the right person. I missed those ones you have named. I do not know how you send it. Mine is getting the name and the number, and then I send. So I missed that, Madam Speaker.
Okay. Senator Joyce Korir.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. My question still hangs on the M-Pesa transfers that the witness sent 100,000 to Lucy Waito, which was sent on 28, and it was reversed on 30th. That is barely 2 days later, Madam Speaker. I wanted to know whether there was an agreement between the Deputy Governor and Lucy Waito. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, there was no agreement between myself and Lucy Waito on anything unless clarified. That is the way I got the question. There was no agreement. The position is send the money back, and she had told me to reverse. That is the position at which we left it.
Okay. Senator Mwinyi Haji Mohamed Faki.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mine is also on the same M-Pesa transaction. When you send the money on the, is it 28th?
28th yes,
of
28th.
May, did you confirm that the money had gone?
Yes, the money went.
So, but you didn't confirm to whom it went. Is that what you're telling us?
I didn't read that name and get to know that it is where I was sending the money to. That is what I'm saying, yes.
Yes. So you confirmed that the money was sent to Lucy. Was it Lucy or?
Lucy.
That same evening?
That evening, yes, the money went to Lucy.
That same evening?
Yes.
But it took her prompting for you to realize that it went to a wrong person.
Yeah, I slept without noticing that the money had gone to the wrong person. So I woke up the next day, and this is when I came to this understanding.
But it is your evidence that on the evening you sent the money, you confirmed that it went to Lucy?
No. It was erroneously sent to Lucy. That's what I'm saying.
That's all.
Senator Mbogwa Mungai George.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Deputy Governor, I'm following up on the charges of abuse of office, and I want to refer you to your affidavit, paragraph 59, A and B, you seem to suggest that your home is being used for official purposes without your permission.
Sorry?
You seem to suggest that your home is being used for official government offices without your permission. Is that true on point A, paragraph 59 of your affidavit?
That is wise. Somebody governments. Madam Speaker, can we go ahead with the question?
So you seem to suggest that your home is being used for official government business without your permission because you are saying your input was not sought for. Is that true?
Madam Speaker, this is not referring to myself. I'm saying it's not my home that is used.
Okay.
My
Now
home
on
has
B,
not been used by anyone for official functions.
okay, on B, you suggest that the governor's office is being used for official government business. Is there any government money which goes into the use of this office? Is there any money which is used for the government business which is being carried on in that office? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, that I will not be able to confirm if government money is being used. The only response here is that government business is being transacted in the governor's residence.
Senator Onyonka Richard.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Dr. Monda, I have two follow-up questions. The question that you've answered about government business taking place, could you explain what that statement means? In other words, are you trying to say that each and every government transaction since the governor took over in Kisii County has actually been conducted, including cabinet positions, including cabinet meetings, and you as the DG were holding cabinet meetings in the governor's house? And if you can, I would hope you to explain what the government says in terms of where the governor or the president, which place should they operate from. The second question I want to bring you, Dr. Monda, Madam Asigi raised a very interesting question, but I thought, and I'm not on a fishing expedition, I thought you got confused. Do you know the difference between an M-Pesa app and M-Pesa Kawaida?
Madam Speaker, I may be lost between the two.
Yeah, can you explain if you can? Lastly, this money that you sent erroneously, have you ever sent any other erroneous money to anybody at any one time? And did you get a reversal, and how do you claim that money back? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, with your permission, I may start with the M-Pesa. I'm lost between the M-Pesa app and the M-Pesa by the Senator Onyonga, what you call M-Pesa Kawaida. Madam Speaker, I may be on the Kawaida M-Pesa because I have not heard the difference between the two. I will have to refer when I leave this Senate. And so, on the matter of reversal, what did you ask?
I asked whether you have ever sent any other money other than this money to anybody else before this exercise started or even now.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I've done. M-Pesa is a continuous process by everyone of this era. And so I've sent and I've lost, sometimes I've lost the money. And sometimes when I'm able to call and get the money sent back, I have succeeded to get the money back. This happens all the time. And I think my considered opinion is that it is for that reason that the Safaricom decided to have the two reversal and even sending back. Madam Speaker, on the first question, the Honorable Senator has asked me to explain a little. All I know, once sworn into government, we are expected to transact government business in designated areas, gazetted areas, such that the Senate will conduct business in the designated Senate, as an example, Madam Speaker, and this assembly. But in my case and the Kisii, once we came into government after being sworn in, and this was in the presence of my Super Senator Richard Onyonga, we did the swearing in.
Just to guide you, we do not have any super senator.
Okay,
They are all senators.
Madam
honorable
Speaker,
senators.
I withdraw that and replace it
Just
with
refer
Senator
to him
Onyonga.
as honorable senator is the official title. Can you continue with the answer?
Yes,
Proceed on.
Madam Speaker, once we were sworn in, the previous governor's office by the former governor was of course available, but we did not occupy that space, including my space as a deputy governor, on grounds that my governor will want to do renovations to those offices before we occupy them. And therefore, we had to start operating from the holding rooms of the Kisii Stadium. And we've remained in those holding rooms in the stadium until today as I speak here. Madam Speaker, if I were to be impeached by this motion, I wouldn't have stepped into the official gazetted governor's offices in Kisii as at now. And after a short while, Madam Speaker, at the stadium, my governor, His Excellency Mbarati, decided to start conducting government meetings in his own residence in Motonto village. And this has remained the position of the Kisii County government over many years without imputing any wrong motive, Madam Speaker. We have found ourselves in a situation where even the Judicial Service Commission visited Kisii, and we were required to go to the rural home where we went and we held that meeting there, and it was painful for me having the Judicial Service Commission conducting an official meeting in a private residency. Madam Speaker, this is the scenario in brief in Kisii. The CECs will find their way to that home every day. The chief officers the same, and the directors the same. Madam Speaker, at some point as I raised this matter, I started getting excluded from attending those meetings, and without getting, and totally not getting information that there is any meeting going on anywhere where a deputy governor can also attend. That is the scenario in Kisii. I want to stop there, hoping I've answered the Honorable Senator's question, inviting this Senate to visit Kisii and see by yourselves, Madam Speaker, that that's the scenario we are in Kisii County.
Thank you, thank you. Senator Karungo will be the final one, then we'll take a direction on the remaining. We have about 17, and we'll have to take a direction on how we go about it. Meantime, Senator Karungo. very quickly. And
Thank
one
you.
minute.
Mine are very brief, Madam Speaker. And I would start by asking the Deputy Governor, Mr. Deputy Governor, why would your brother be so bitter with you that he would want you to lose your seat and go live with him at your father's house, at your father's farm? The second question, yesterday I asked Dennis a question, and I asked him if he got a job after giving the 800,000 bribe, would he tell anybody, would he go to the police? And his answer was no, I wouldn't have gone to any police. I would just be enjoying my job. Now, in that line of thinking, would I say Lucy Waheto, would I be right to say Lucy Waheto also came here because probably you did not give him all the money that he wanted? Probably you did not give her all the money that she wanted. Out of the 800, maybe she wanted 400. You gave her 100,000. Then there were 2 days of, are you sending more? Are you sending more? And then if you're not sending more, I'm going to refund the money. And that is exactly what happened. Would I be right to say so?
Madam Speaker, I will start with that last question to say no, the Honorable Senator will not be right to say so because we've not had a discussion with Lucy Waheto beyond the erroneous transaction of money. The other one is about my brother, and I've said it's a sad scenario that the entire happening is simply intended to drag my name through the mud. That's all I would want to say, Madam Speaker, that my brother is in that pain of not supporting me in the past in the elections, but I've continued to win. And after the elections, my brother has not been happy, and he believes the campaigns continue beyond the time we were elected. And so he'll wish that I'm impeached for him to feel better, because I would have lost the seat I won against his wishes, that I don't. You refer to the Kisii elections, you will see many clips showing how my brother campaigned hard against me, but then I flawed them, and those who are flawed will always be looking for grounds to continue fighting. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Senators, we have now finished the slots that we had allocated, but I have about 17 requests for senators who need clarifications. We have to take a direction because we have 5 witnesses who still have to give evidence, be cross-examined, be re-examined. So what is your point of order? Before you do the points of order, I want us to take a direction as a House, whether we add 3 slots, both majority and minority leaders are here. Yes. Senator Methu, and then Senator Osotsi. Senator Osotsi, meantime, raise your point of order. Resume your seat. I invited you to use the dispatch box. You move first.
Madam Speaker, I think you directed that Mr. Monda's phone be checked to confirm the phone list attached on the documents. I think we need to dispense with that because the document raised a lot of concerns from the members and from the council as to its authenticity. And also, understanding the computer misuse and Cybercrime Act, particularly Section 23, that talks about false publication of computer information. So I think that would be a very crucial aspect to deal with before we proceed.
See, I gave the direction. I had directed that the phone on the page which has been downloaded and attached to the documentation be presented to the clerk, and Senator Cherargei, who had raised that issue, was to be there to see that page. He's not in the house, so I'm holding it. It will still be done. What is your point of order, Senator Medhu? So I've given direction, it will still be checked.
Honorable Speaker, since you had already given direction that you shall take 4 from each side, I think it is fair that we stick to that direction that you had given. But I would be of the proposal, Honorable Speaker, because we have, I think, 5 more witnesses, that for the rest of us who are on that dashboard, because I know I'm one of them, that you give us priority in terms of getting clarification from the other witnesses that will be coming, so that then we can be able to avoid the question that had been raised by Senator Karongo Lango of the same people speaking over and over, that when we get the next witness, then we can get another 8, then we remain with a few more others, so that everybody can be able to speak to this matter.
Senator Hamida, on a point of order only, then I give a direction. We take consensus and...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to request if you could give us, the few of us who have not talked, at least more time. At least give us 20 minutes for each side, so that at least we can proceed. Because he's the main witness, then at least we have not exhausted our questions, kindly.
20 minutes for each side would be too much for both sides. Honorable Senators, we either take a few more or proceed on with the witnesses and give priority to the senators who have not clarified anything in the next batch. Senator Mohammed.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I think the direction which was given was that the DG's side had 3 hours to present their case together with the cross-examination and conclusion. Maybe is that now, has not now changed, because I've seen we did about 2 hours in the morning and I've done another 2 hours now. And you should, the way we are managing our time, I don't think we are going to conclude this matter
That's definitely the
before
concern.
midnight.
That is definitely the concern.
So you need to give direction, Madam Speaker, so that we know the time frames of what we are doing. Because yesterday there was a time frame which was presented and accepted by the plenary. And now we are digressing from that time frame. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Mohammed. I'll take one more point of order, then I give a direction. From Senator Roba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Considering the Deputy Governor is the key person, and the issues that have been raised around, his removal from office, I think it's only fair if, even if you limit the time, the senators that want to raise some questions to the Deputy Governor be given, even if you limit the time to one question in that regard. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, in view of the time constraint, but noting that this is a very key witness and the impeachment is on the Deputy Governor, I will give an opportunity to 3 senators on this side, 3 senators on the majority side, a total of 6 senators, and each should take only 1 minute. Beyond 1 minute, I'll request the clerk to switch off the microphone so that we do it under 10 minutes or 12 minutes and move on to the other witnesses. Senator Enoch.
That's well guided, Madam Speaker. But then, in the same breath, then you should also require of the witness to also respond decisively to questions without expounding on anything.
Honorable Senators, I want to request, and we guide that even your questions be precise, don't give a narration or 2 paragraphs of a background. Just ask a specific question, and the witness is duly guided to give specific, precise answers to the questions that are asked. If it's a question of yes or no, just say yes or no. And I will now request Senator Seki to ask the question. He's not there. Senator Boni Halwale.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Deputy Governor Robert Monda is my friend. In fact, I'm the only one in this House who was a colleague of his in the 10th Parliament. Listening to you, my old friend and colleague, your fate is going to turn on your word against the word of your own witnesses. Young Dennis Misati has told us that and proved that he gave you 500,000. You have refused. Your word against his. Joseph Mesati has said that you went to him for money, you were broke. You have refused. Your word against his. Gladys Amingo has a document here where she demonstrates that you are doing business with her. You have refused her word against yours. And finally, Lucy Wahito has demonstrated.
What's your question, Senator Boni? It's over, it's 1 minute.
On page 264, that she were innocent by telling the House, do we believe you?
Witness.
Madam Speaker, to answer these questions, from my friend, the Senator Kalwale, Mr. Misati, as
What's
stood...
your point of order, Senator Wakoli? Use the dispatch box, Senator.
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for my senior brother, Mheshimiwa Boni Khalwale, to already show signals that he's already making decisions and judging the innocent doctor without the due process coming to a conclusion, Honorable Speaker? Let us be impartial as honorable senators and allow the defense and the accused to come on board and elaborate themselves. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The witness, following the point of order, let me give a direction. The witness can concentrate on the question that was posed in the last sentence, whether you should be believed or the other witnesses should be believed. Just that bit.
Madam Speaker, there have been a mention of several names of witnesses who have been here. Dennis Misati, against the word of his father, Joseph Misati. My affirmation is that Joseph Misati and myself are on the same page. And so we have not pulled in different directions, and I hope my friend senator is listening to me. So Joseph Misati are talking different language with the son. And it's not me who has said we are not talking the same language with Joseph Misati. Misati refunded my money, and that's our position, the two of us. Gladys Aminga have not deviated that I gave Gladys Aminga the contract to deliver building material to my home. That's the position I've taken, and I paid what was due to her. Lucy, the Wasco MD, we are on the same page that I sent money to her erroneously, and she refers the money to me. There's no more that she has said about me, other than that she has two statements. One, she says, I said nothing when we talked on the phone on the same money, and on the affidavit she said something else. So I've not deviated from what all these witnesses have said. I have a position about them.
Thank you. Senator Hamida.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Bwana DG, the young man, Dennis, really broke down. They lost the family business, and the wife also had a miscarriage. Are you really conscious? Is your conscience clear that there was no fraud by promising this young man or by extorting money from him to get a job? That is one. Just the second one. There's been so much...
Leave it at one question, Senator Hamida, for this last session. Just one question.
Just one more, Madam Speaker.
Leave it at one question. Everybody needs a little
Thank
chance
you, Madam
to ask.
Speaker.
So then, Dennis Misati broke down. I was here yesterday, and I saw it. But again, Dennis Misati was on record that he has not talked to me any one time about the job he was looking for. He got all the story about the job from his father. The father was here today morning. There's no way I can know that Dennis sold a business or suffered any loss, yet the connection, the only link between me and Dennis is the father, who has witnessed today in the morning that he is not privy to any business lost, nor Dennis having money to come and give me as a bribe, or he was calling it something else, not inducement, something. And so I cannot speak for Dennis Misati. He can only speak about his father, through whom he indicated he got every communication from me.
Senator Derito John Kinyua.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in the county, DG is #2 in command. Madam Speaker, he is telling us that he sent money erroneously to a person he has saved as CEO, who is a junior officer in terms of command. Madam Speaker, what I'm trying to understand, how was it so hard for that officer to reverse or to send the money immediately, which ended up taking 2 days? I had listened to him saying the officer said he could not reverse the money immediately because he was in the airport. Then from the airport, she entered a very serious meeting. Madam Speaker, I am still not understanding. That's the only part I'm not getting. I need clarity.
DG?
Madam Speaker, that is very true. Lucy is a junior officer in the company where she works, a company created between the Kisii County and the Nyamira County. And Madam Speaker, she works under Board of Management. I am the Deputy Governor. If indeed I was to look for jobs from the board, sorry, I then should have been able to reach the Board of Management, because that's where the marks for anyone looking for a job is awarded. It's not at the CEO. So, Madam Speaker, this assertion, to me, I find it far from what it should be, I were to talk to the management board. Madam Speaker,
Can you make your answers precise and short? That's what we guided.
I stop. He had mentioned, the senator had mentioned something about the sending of the money. And Madam Speaker, I've already mentioned here that from the records that are in these bundles that are before the Senate, I realized that Madam Lucy Waido used the same money that she was supposed to reverse immediately on the 29th morning. And so even if she was to reverse the money, she didn't have the same money to reverse to me until the 30th when she finally reversed the money and on some kind of loan. And if that loan we call what? In M-Pesa. Fulisa, if that Fulisa was there on the same 29th, then why did she leave herself to be below 100,000, which she was reversed to me? I hope I've responded.
Senator Betty.
Is it Betty Moteto or is it Beth?
It's working.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, mine is just a quick one. You said that the 100,000 you are sending to Gladys was for services rendered to you on transport. Have you brought any evidence to show that there's either an invoice or a demand notice, either on phone or written to you, demanding that, that payment, please?
Madam Speaker, I don't have those documents, but from the statement given by Gladys, she is confirming that she transported the materials as my affidavit was also indicating. So we are in agreement with Gladys that she transported materials for me, and that is in a record in the documents before this House.
Senator Mudigi.
Asante, Madam Speaker. Yangu ni machache. Bwana Deputy Governor, we ni mwenye county na unajua sina sote zile ziko Kisii. Mambo ya pesa kutumia mtu na kurudishie, hiyo kwa mimi ni vitu imefanyika kwa muda mrefu na bora pesa ilirundi. Lakini mambo ya hizi pesa zingine nataka kuuliza Bwana Deputy Governor, wakati tulikuja Kisii juu ya wafanyikazi kulikuwa na shida nikiwa mmoja wa lipa wafanyikazi walipa, unajua ile mambo yote iko Kisii ambayo ni mzito sana mkafuta watu. Lakini nataka kuuliza, hakuna njia ndio hii mambo isifike katika county ya Kisii na pia ifike hapa? Hakuna vile hapo mbeleni ungejua vile utafanya uweze kumaliza hii maneno kabla haijafika hapa pahali tumefika? Asante, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, this matter has been speeded up very quickly by I will call it my CEO, is part and parcel to this movement, this impeachment, so that I'm gotten rid of because of the issues I'm already raising on the management of the county. And so it could have been managed if we sat together as the leadership. But I've got my CEO who will also determine whether that kind of meeting can take place or not.
Senator Okoiti Andrew Mutata.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Your Excellency, Deputy Governor, I have just one small concern that is disturbing me. Yesterday, a video was played here of a very, very poor lady who makes her living, who ekes out her living by selling mutura, accusing you of having taken money from her. And there were many others who came up. But I'm taking that particular one because it's the one that seems to have evidence that it was made at the public participation, during a public participation forum. What would be your response, or did you have a chance
to respond to that allegation, because for me, for somebody poor claiming that you took so much from her is a very, very painful experience for me. And that for me is one thing that's going to guide my decision.
Madam Speaker, the clips that were played in this House, the Honorable House will notice that all of it ran around the bursary that I have been soliciting for bribes to give people bursaries. Bursaries in counties have committees that run bursaries and not the deputy governor. Madam Speaker, you get a report of Kisii. The last bursary given was, in the last financial year, was 3,000 shillings per student. What kind of sense would it make if you get a parent bribing a deputy governor 12,000, 20,000 to get 3,000? Does it make economic sense? Does it look like there is something happening? Madam Speaker, these clips played here were all choreographed to simply implicate me, where they have been indicated to have been taken. You will get in the same report you have. For instance, Masimba, I'll quote Masimba. Masimba is the headquarter for Masimba ward. In the report, it's indicated when the team doing public participation reached there was nobody to attend the public participation. But at the end of the report and the clip played here, Madam Speaker, I realized that there is a gentleman who is a border rider, whom I know in person, whom we have taken food together in my house, claiming to have come to my home, to me to get bursaries. Madam Speaker, I've never sat anywhere in a committee releasing bursaries to the beneficiaries. I've never. This was simply meant to augment the claim that Monda takes bribes, and that is what was done. If you look at the timing of the public participation, yes.
I want to guide you once again. You keep to the question and give short, precise answers to the questions.
Okay.
So rest it there. Senator Paris is the final question, and then we move on to the next witness.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to put it to the DG that his friend Joseph Misati had said that he's financially struggling. And in that case, could this be the reason why the DG is soliciting money in order to assist in the job placement of Misati's son, Dennis?
Madam Speaker, I've responded to that question earlier severally, that that averment was generally done by Mr. Misati, that politicians have their challenges in terms of resources and the kind of work they do. He also then said he will expect that I'm also one of those who are suffering in terms of resources. No, Mr. Misati did not speak for me that I'm asking for money from anyone, and I've not asked for money from anyone to solve the challenges that are financial for politicians, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senators. I think, unfortunately, we have to move on because we have 5 other witnesses who have not given evidence, and the Senators who have not found time now, you have an opportunity in the next bunch. So the DG's team, the Honorable Deputy Governor's team, who are you calling next?
Madam Speaker, we are calling next Honorable Lillian Gore. And Madam Speaker, I just wanted to indicate that considering the constraints of time, we are electing to drop 2 witnesses, and we will be calling, apart from the next witness, we will be calling 2 more, and then we close.
That is very good. We appreciate that. So let's have the next witness, and that you save our time on questions. The witness may take the stand and be sworn in.
Which faith do you ascribe to?
I'm a Christian.
Christian. So you take an oath for affirmation?
I will take an oath.
So when the speaker calls you to take the oath, you count the Bible on the right.
Counsel, how much time do you need with this witness? We hope it's below 30 minutes.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'll take 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
But my colleagues have 7 minutes in cross-examination. They gave up their 7 minutes.
Yes, we are aware of that. The Secretariat marked it.
Madam Speaker, if you may allow me. We give our time for 2 witnesses. Only 2 witnesses are the ones that we waived our right of cross-examination. And therefore, if those 2 witnesses then are not appearing before the Senate, it then discounts our arguments. Because they are not coming. We only dropped 2 witnesses, which my learned friend has also agreed to drop. Not this particular witness. And then...
Okay.
Madam Speaker, the election on the time they gave up was for 2 witnesses who are named, and they're still coming. So the 7 minutes that were ambiguous will now count to this 3rd witness.
Counsel, proceed with your witness. Use
Yes.
your time wisely. Those decisions will be made by the chair.
I, Lillian Anyango Gor, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Honorable Lillian, maybe you can just introduce yourself to the chamber.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Lillian Nyango Gor. I serve in the Kisii County Assembly, both as a member of County Assembly, and I also sit in the County Assembly Service Board, representing the Minority Coalition.
Yes, Honorable Gore, you saw an affidavit that appears at page 204 to 206 of the bundle labeled DG.
Yes.
That is true?
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I'm referring to this bundle. Yes, I'll take you quickly to your first assertion at paragraph 3 of that affidavit, where you say that you opposed the motion for impeachment on procedural and substantive grounds.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I was part of the proceedings on the day the motion was moved, and yes, I did stand and I had the privilege, the Speaker gave me an opportunity, and yes, I did oppose on grounds that the motion had not been properly placed before the House, and that there were other substantive grounds that would not then allow the motion to be fairly administered before the House.
Okay, I'll take you to the notice of 13th of February. Yes, it appears at page 6 of the DG bundle.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'm there.
You can see that notice. This is what was presented before the County Assembly.
Yes, this was a notice presented before the County Assembly on the 13th.
Oh, it's page 5, not page 6, page 5. That's the one dated the 13th of February.
Correct?
Okay. Was this the sum total of the notice that was served upon the chamber?
Yes, Madam Speaker, what appears on page 5 of the document was what is the notice of motion that we received in the County Assembly.
Were the signatures and any supporting evidence produced?
Madam Speaker, on the day that we had this as a notice of motion, we did not have the opportunity to see, neither did the Speaker refer to any signatures on that particular day.
Okay, and this is a notice that started these whole proceedings?
Madam Speaker, that's correct.
Okay, from your knowledge as a member of the County Assembly, was this notice up to par? Was it in accordance with your standing orders?
Madam Speaker, both our standing orders and Section 33 of the County Government Act directs us on what a notice of motion on impeachment should be, and it specifically refers to 2 items, the grounds and particulars of the motion. And therefore, what we had on the 13th was the grounds, and we did not have an opportunity to go through the particulars of the motion.
Thank you. Just in the emphasis of time, I'll now move you to the Hansard with regards to the 21st of February. It appears on volume 1 of the County Assembly's bundle. Yes, I'm referring to which page of that particular bundle? The numbers are at the bottom.
Kindly clarify which page you're referring to.
The numbers are at the bottom, where we have Henry introducing, Morasia introducing a motion.
Council, can you guide on the page?
It's page.
Okay, this is 122. Thank you.
It's at page 122 of volume 1.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes. Can you explain to the Senate what motion the majority leader moved before the County Assembly on the 21st of February?
Yes, Madam Speaker, from the page 122, it says, it was an adjournment of debate on motion on removal from office by way of impeachment of His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of the County Government of Kisii, moved by our Leader of Majority, Honorable Muraja.
Yes. I now ask you to look at that, Hansard. Was that motion allowed? That motion for adjournment? As a member of the chamber, maybe you can inform the Senate. Was that motion allowed for adjournment?
Honorable Speaker, usually when a motion is moved, we expect that it is seconded. Thereafter, a question will be put by the Speaker, but here I'm not seeing any member of the Assembly who did this second the motion.
So the motion in question was not seconded?
Honorable Speaker, no, it was not.
Okay. And was that motion then debated?
There was an attempt, Honorable Speaker, there was an attempt to do a debate.
Was it finally passed?
No.
Did the adjournment happen?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, at the end of it, there was an adjournment as per the communication that was from the chair on that particular day.
Okay. Now we'll move on to this public participation we've been informed took place at the instigation of the County Assembly. It appears at page 56 to 58. The report appears at page 56 to 58 of the DG's bundle, the other bundle. This is a submission from the public participation. You can see it?
Yes, the page 56, the document is headed Submission on the Public Participation.
Yes. Who is this submission from?
The document is dated 26 from Benson Nyagaka Masario.
Misario.
Yeah, Misario.
Yes. Have you had a chance to go through this particular submission by this citizen of Kisii?
Yes, I have had an opportunity to go through this submission.
Yes, you've seen the issues he raised with regards to the county executive.
Yes, quite a number of issues were raised.
You've referred to these issues in your affidavit?
Yes, I've referred to a number of them, Madam Speaker.
I'll take you to the first issue you've referred to at paragraph 7 of your affidavit. And this relates to the senior staff mortgage.
Yes, I'm there, Madam Speaker.
Yes. Who gave directions or who initiated this senior staff mortgage that you refer to?
The senior staff mortgage facilities is a directive of SRC, and that was communicated through a gazette notice, and that is a benefit that is anybody who is a CEC, a deputy governor, or a governor within our country, Kenya, is eligible to have access to it.
Yes. Did the County Assembly of Kisii then operationalize a senior staff mortgage?
Yes, Madam Speaker, the County Assembly of Kisii, because it is mandated to approve any borrowing or borrowing arrangements within the county, then went ahead to approve a borrowing of about 90 million to senior staff for mortgage facilities that then would facilitate the actualization of that SRC notice, gazette notice.
Have these senior staff been able to enjoy this fund that you disbursed?
To the best of my knowledge, no, they have not.
Why is this?
Part of what has happened is that the process of approval, instead of being domiciled at the committee level, as was approved by the County Assembly, the process is no longer with the committee. It is being discussed elsewhere, and that has hampered the process of getting access to the mortgage.
Okay. This elsewhere you refer to, where is this elsewhere you refer to?
Currently, one of the CEC did confide and say that the document is not within the executive's office. It is stored within the governor's palatial home.
Okay. Now, on that point, we can move on to the next issue, which is the use of the governor's home as an office. Yes. Is this a fact you have personal knowledge of, that the governor actually uses his house as an office?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I've personally received an invite to go and have an official meeting and discussion within the palatial home.
Okay. Is this a known fact in Kisii County, that this is his office?
Yes, it is a known fact. In fact, we have had access to videos going around in the social media confirming that the governor is comfortable with discussions on government matters being held from his residence.
Okay. In the interest of time, we'll move on to this issue of ghost workers. Yes, you indicated there were media reports about 13, 14 ghost workers.
Yes, we did receive, first of all, one of the few things that were done the moment we got the new government, procedurally or in a way of caution, instruction was given to a body that was then supposed to evaluate into HR issues and many other reports, including pending bills. And this information was communicated to us in one of the forums in the stadium when the executive said that there are issues within the country, that the county, that will be resolved by a few of the instructions that he has issued.
Yes, was this report or from this investigation, was there a report that was produced?
At one point, I saw on social media information that there is a report, but as a member of County Assembly, I haven't had access to the report, neither do I know where the report is. And we as an assembly have not discussed the report at all.
So it has never been tabled before the County Assembly?
Madam Speaker, no, it has not been tabled.
Okay, which ties into our next issue, which is this Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Board case that appears at pages 192 to 187 of the DG's bundle. Did this case arise out of this alleged hunt for ghost hunters, for ghost workers?
Madam Speaker, what I'm aware of is that in the social media there was an official document from the county secretary that was going around, and it was indicating that about 700 workers had been given show cause letters. Quite a number of them were coming from were members of the KMPDU organization. And therefore, because they had received the show cause letters, KMPDU as an organization therefore went ahead to find a way that they can support and have their members listened to.
Yes, did this case therefore cause the county to utilize funds to defend this baseless case?
Madam Speaker, yes, the county had to defend because the respondent was the county.
And this is tied in with this unknown report on ghost workers?
Yes.
Okay, I'll now take you to pages 158 and 160 of our bundle. And these pictures we saw of MCA votes with regards to the motion that was before the County Assembly. Yes, we start at page 158.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, you can see this is the ballot. You can confirm this is a ballot you had with regards to the impeachment motion before the County Assembly.
Madam Speaker, I can confirm this is a sample of the ballot paper that we had there.
Yeah, you can confirm this is a staff ID for one Karen Nyamoita
Madam
of the
Speaker,
County Assembly.
Madam Speaker, I can confirm this is the ID.
And you can
of
confirm
one
that
of
is
the
a
honorable
picture.
members. Yes, this is her picture.
Okay, and that there's a similar picture of a similar MCA at 159? And their ballot?
Council,
Yes, Madam Speaker.
You have 5 minutes and time will be strict, so you condense your questions to what you truly want to hear.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Yes, and you confirm that's the same case at page 160?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Yes, why would members of County Assembly take photos of their votes and distribute them in this manner?
To the best of my knowledge, members of County Assembly were avoiding instances of being de-whipped. And members of County Assembly have previously had instances where if they act against what they have been instructed to, then they face being de-whipped from committees and they face very grievous challenges within the Assembly. So I sympathize with these members. They may not have been happy to do this, but they were just making sure that their life is safe.
So they were acting under instructions?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker. That is all for this witness. I'll hand you over for cross-examination. Madam
you.
Speaker, maybe now we can
Thank
take
you,
directions
Counsel.
as to
I'll
the
give
time.
directions. 2 witnesses have been dropped, which saves on time. But we are still not doing too well on time.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
So I will allow cross-examination by counsel. How many minutes do you need?
2 minutes.
Oh, good. Let's have the cross-examination in the 2 minutes.
And the rest I'll reserve to use in my submissions at the closure. Good evening, Mheshimiwa.
Good evening, Wakili.
You have referred us to page 157, 158, 159, 160, yes?
Correct, Madam Speaker.
What is the source of this information? Where did you get this from?
I have read it from here.
Where did you get it from?
I have read it from here, sir.
Madam, just answer me the question. Where did you get this information from?
I got this information from this bundle.
From this bundle?
Yes.
Do you know its source?
I got the information from the bundle.
Do you know the source of this information?
The source is this bundle. That's my understanding.
She's given an answer. You take that.
Are you trying to say that the Senate has been sitting for the last 2 days over 48 hours in vain?
That's not my testimony, sir.
Thank you.
Any re-exam? I believe you'll take a very short while.
Yes, Madam Speaker, just one question.
Proceed.
Yes, Honorable Gore, is this the first time you've seen those photos?
Madam Speaker, I have seen these photos on MCA WhatsApp platform, Kisii County MCA WhatsApp platform also.
Thank you, Honorable Gore.
Senator Methu, do you have any interventions or questions?
Just a clarification from the witness. From your evidence this afternoon, you say that for the best of your knowledge, the photos were being taken by the members of the County Assembly because there has always been consequences if they are not made, if they do not vote in a certain manner. I would want, especially the whipping. I would want to know from whom do these instructions come from, and what are the instances, to the best of your knowledge as a member of that County Assembly, that people have been de-whipped for voting in a certain way.
Madam Speaker, we have 2 members of the County Assembly who are currently de-whipped from their committees, and they belong to the ODM party. These members also share the same political party with our Excellency. These members have no the platform to be able to contest that which is happening. Currently, we have a member who has gone for 8 months without an allowance. An MCA only earns 89,000, and it is fully committed in mortgages and loans. And as a member who sits in the board, County Assembly Service Board, I have received several complaints, and I have had to go and extend and sit down with this member who has suicidal thoughts because of that matter. And that is why I thought it is wise that I will come and testify about it, because it is something that is close to me, but I have no control over it.
So that I get the answer to that particular question. I'm not asking a different question. Is that for the 2 members who you say one of them has not had a salary for the last 8 months, is it then as a consequence of a vote that he or she ever took? And as a member of the board, it is then puzzling that you're the person that processes salaries for the members of the County Assembly.
Senator Methu, did she talk about salaries or allowances?
Well, let me say benefits. Let me use benefits. I think that would make more sense. That she has not been able to be enjoying benefits for the last 8 months. Is it because he or she ever voted in a certain way, that member from the ODM party?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The reason as to why members did this was because they did not want to go against instructions. One of the instructions, or one of the things that this honorable member who has gone for 8 months without salary is because he went and talked against the position of his leader within the party. So yes, we fear that when we do anything against that position, we are victimized and we are sent away from the assembly. Despite the fact that the standing orders say that a member should be at least in one standing committee. This member we are referring to is not in any committee. That means that even the people, because this is an elected member, even the people that have sent him to the assembly have been denied an opportunity to have their views presented in the assembly.
Senator Eric Mogeni Okong.
Yes, Mheshimiwa, you know, as we sit here so that you assist us with information that will help us make a determination that is fair and just. And on the 4 counts that the Deputy Governor of Kisii County is facing, I've listened to your testimony and I've not heard you respond to any of those 4 charges that are facing the governor. So do you think what you have told us this afternoon is relevant to the business that is before us? Number 2, I've read your affidavit. I think it was sworn on 11th of March, 2024. And all the things you have said about MCS who have in the past been threatened by the governor, who have lost certain positions, 2 of them you say, some who have lost, who have been punished by being denied their allowances. All that information appears nowhere in your affidavit. Is it that you have just had an afterthought, or how come you didn't include such crucial information in your affidavit? As I said, ours is to get evidence that assists us in arriving at a determination relevant to the charges that are facing the DG of Kisii County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Senator has asked me if the information is relevant with this distinguished assembly. Yes, to the best of my knowledge, it is important and relevant to this assembly. One of the items that was presented through public participation was the observation of this and whose content I'm referring myself to. And if this was a matter that was then referred to the assembly, courtesy of a public participation activity, and these are observations that have come from the people of Kisii County, then the people of Kisii County's views are relevant in this observation, unless we want to believe that the views of the people of Kisii County are irrelevant for this discussion. Part 2, the information appears right now, and it was not part of the affidavit. Honorable Speaker, I was responding to the questions as presented to me by my by Wakili, and I was expounding as he has requested me to expound. Thank you.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, mine was a query on, the witness before us should focus on giving us evidence that will assist the DG to be saved or not, instead of focusing on the fight between the Deputy Governor and the Governor, because it's not going to help in any way. That is what I just wanted to, this is not clarification. Basically, I was doing an intervention because of that, so that at least, we don't waste a lot of time on local politics. What is before us is the County Assembly of Kisii impeached the Deputy Governor, and this House, we are determining whether they were right in impeaching him or not. So the witness is supposed to help us to give us something that can assist the churches of this house. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Kisang. Senator Mwinyi Haji Mohammed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Lillian, you belong to which political party?
My party is Kenya National Congress.
Kenya National Congress.
Correct.
You are therefore in the opposition as far as the Kilifi County Assembly, Kisii County Assembly is concerned.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I
represent
the minority coalition.
You represent the minority.
Yes.
And it is your evidence that you oppose the motion procedurally and on substantive grounds, but your opposition was defeated.
Yes, Madam Speaker, in my own right, I did oppose, and I think it's also part of the Hansard.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Gloria.
Madam Speaker, I just wanted a clarification from the Member of County Assembly. You say from your submissions, it seems that you do not have confidence in the institution that you present, that is the County Assembly. Would I be right to say then that you also take the same position with the earlier submissions, that some of the parts of the Hansard are not correct?
Madam Speaker, I'm confident of what the County Assembly does. I have reservations for decisions and a few things that are not done procedurally. And I did raise them then, I still raise them now.
So, Madam Speaker, just for everyone to be clear, are you here as a member of County Assembly or in your personal capacity?
Madam Speaker, I'm here as a member of County Assembly and in my personal capacity as a resident of Kisii County.
Thank you. That's the end of Senator Sifuna. You just pressed your button, right? Should be
yes,
the final
Madam Speaker, I
intervention.
was not going to say anything to this witness, but there is an allegation that has been made, and I wanted to know from the witness if there is any documentation that you've presented before the Senate with regards to your averment that members of the Orange Democratic Movement Party have previously been punished for going against a party position. So you would have to show me that party position and the MCS that were affected. Do you have any such material before the Senate today?
Madam Speaker, I know and I can name 2 members of ODM party who have been disciplined, but Madam Speaker, currently I do not have any document I brought before this House.
Senator Chute, that should be the final intervention, then we proceed on.
I don't have anything for the Madam Witness, but I have a question for the Legal Counsel for the Deputy Governor. From yesterday till today, the issues that are before us are what Dennis has said, Lucy, and the Deputy Governor. And I want to believe that the issue of influencing employment by the Deputy Governor is very clear. The Deputy Governor has agreed that he has asked Lucy to employ Dennis. Number 2, the transfer of funds. As Dennis has said, it is very clear that transfer of funds were transferred. Dennis transferred 49,000, 150,000, and lastly, he transferred 50,000 at 2043. So at 21:24, which is 41 minutes after Dennis has transferred this amount of money, the Deputy Governor transferred 100,000 to Lucy. So looking at Article 75, Madam Speaker, will I be wrong if I tell the Council? 71B, a state officer shall behave whether in public and official life, in private life, or in association
jambo gani? Dhambi nazo zanilemea Bwana, niokoe nisizame. Ni Bwana ametenda haya, ni Bwana ametenda haya. Twendeni kwake Bwana leo, tupate amani yake. Twendeni kwake Bwana leo. Awonto ikaranse neseye Bwana Yesu, tori asomo gako, haleluya no machengo. Awo washindi tutarukaruka, tukifika mbinguni, mji wa raha. Tutakaribishwa na malaika. He's coming soon to take us home, to take us home, and there shall be no more cry. He's coming soon to take us home, to take us.
Ine numanyite buna Voice of Victory Radio and TV twagaririo bokoreri boitogo cha sore no bwato moyega hauganetio tonwe ebe numoyega bwenyangi gusama tanga gusomo yego graduation oyoganetie oirukiwe mase yemo asomotando YouTube gusukubikwa ase TV ya Voice of Victory bono Voice of Victory noere amonae na boto kuirukiria omoyego yo live asomotando YouTube boigo elindo nyariko bakogwikira no nyambari baras chinse chaisiko ntobwate chi public address system chicho chire chingikiranu na boigo chirairero moyegogo ogende buya otariko butoka Voice of Victory boigo nkwena na toro bokoreri bogwa kachibi chago se photography boigo na bokonyora chigendereta chingi ya echirago konye asomo yegogo ekerestima ya butokire ngokora tore cake making, cake decoration na boigo ngokora tore moyega o outside catering abwastogo chana korageria abageni asomo yega ogo boigo enyekobwato moyega uyoganeti chiema amone birogo Voice of Victory Radio and TV no turaiga asengencho yao asamange ake namba yesimi ekobwatia enoti isano na ibere enoti eyemo isano na isato isano na isato isano na 0720173287 gose enoti isano na ibere isano na inye enoti isato ibere gose enoti isano na ibere enoti isano nemo kianda isano nemo isano isato ibere gosoto tarere asamaga cha golf arcade agotoka somo chobosongo barabare ne stadium ya Gosi. Voice of Victory, leading souls to Christ.
Kila siku ya Jumanne na Jumatano saa 2:30 hadi saa 3